Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. My name's Dan. I'm joined today with Harry Parker. Harry, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, cheers, mate. You all right, yeah?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. A lot of football going on today, and I just thought, you know what? I need to talk about football. I want to be a little bit more involved with it because I haven't recently. So, yeah, I thought we'd do a podcast. So, you're currently watching a game in a minute, aren't you?
I currently am. Yeah, I'm watching Oxford Coventry at Wembley.
Oh, wow.
Coventry are beating Oxford 1-0.
Oh, are they? I was going to stick a bet on that, and I didn't. So, odds on Coventry weren't too bad. But so a few of you might have watched it before. It was probably end of 2015, start of 2016. We did a podcast. It was myself. Jake Moore was on it, who isn't here today. Harry, I think you featured on two of them. Yeah, no, you did.
I think so, yeah, about that. I can't believe how quick time's gone.
Yeah, it's been such a long time. I mean, we've both been doing a lot of different things in that time. So it's, yeah, so just as a little catch up just about yourself, obviously everyone knows your name, I said it now, but what football team do you support and how long you've been going, etc. Like
Support West Ham United. Been going since I was about 4 or 5, only because my dad took me, obviously. The club's going downhill, but I'll still be there. Just about anyway.
Well, I don't know. Your Twitter suggests different, to be fair, mate.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm not going no more. I'm not coming. All right. Okay, fair enough. And then when you beat Arsenal midweek, you'll be like, come on.
Oh, yeah, cool. Shit, fucking fighting for Europe next season if we win fucking Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's how deluded I am, yeah.
Oh, well, at least you admit it. Okay, well, a few people obviously know already, but if you don't know, and it's going to come as maybe a little bit of a shock, obviously you're West Ham. My name's Dan, I support Millwall. So, technically we should be...
I don't know how that happened.
No, do you know what? It was through Tom, who... is a mutual friend of both of us. So that was met through Xbox, I think. But yeah, so I support Millwall, sort of same as Harry. Family took me from a young age. No choice. It is what it is. We're in League One. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. But regardless of Millwall, West Ham, obviously I think we come across West Ham because we're going to get onto the Premier League, and unfortunately Millwall aren't there. Oh well. But first of all, something I sort of wanted to talk about is England. So obviously we just come back off the boring international break. No one likes it. It can be a little bit boring, but to be honest with you, I quite enjoyed this international break. I thought it was okay. What are your sort of thoughts so far on the international break, and just more on England in particular?
Well, I mean, we should have beat Germany in the international friendly. We should have beaten them. They didn't really try, from what I see, and then Podolski just scored a brilliant goal. But if we'd taken our chances from Vardy and Ali, Lallana even, and Ali, well, we would have been back 2-0 up at half time. We would have won. But it was good to see the likes of Michael Keane during the international break play for England, considering he'd never played for us. Mm-hmm. It was good to see. Because people are always moaning about only top 6 clubs getting players into the international squad. So to see the likes of Jake Livermore and Michael Keane from the top of my head, I can't think of any others. But to see them, it's brilliant. Hopefully, Southgate can do that every year in the national call-ups.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main talking point in general, because when Southgate got appointed, there was a lot of... I think he was a sort of like Marmite. A lot of people were like, do you know what? Yeah, brilliant. Give him a chance down the under-21s. Why not? Sort of thing. A lot of people are like, he missed a penalty in the World Cup. I don't want him managing my country. And a lot of people are going quite mental about him. I mean, personally, I was quite excited to see Southgate got appointed. One, because he was doing the under-21s. And I just, naturally in my head, that's always a nice progression. And he's English. So, I mean, I don't think... It's weird because obviously we've had Capello, Ericsson in obviously previously before Hodgson and McLaren. But I've always thought if you've got to be English to play for your country, then technically, if you're going to manage your country, then haven't you got to have some sort of association as well? But other than that, really, I quite like him. A lot of people said he's a FA yes man, which I don't actually know what that is.
I'll be honest, I was one of those people that sort of thought that he'd just picked Manchester United players, Liverpool players, even though they've not been doing amazing for their current clubs. But like I say, he's picked Michael Keane, Livermore, Redmond, Tom Heaton, top players for their club that you probably think that they won't get in because the manager might be a yes man or whatever. But fair play to Southgate.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? He's trying new things as well. I think it was at one point against Germany went 3-5-2. I think. I'm sure. Off the top of my head, I genuinely can't remember.
I think it was in the second half. Yeah.
But either way, I think he's looking to change things up and really give certain things a go, which I'm all for. If he's going to look, even if it means we lost 1-0 to Germany, so what? Like you said, he's trying new players. He might be trying a new system, trying to do things his way. That might take a bit of time. I mean, we've got a year and a couple of months really until the next big tournament. And personally, I mean, this is typical England fan. I think we're actually going to do quite well. And I say this every time. But when I look at our squad and who might be coming through to our squad, I just think we're actually up. I don't see how we're not up there to even be a contender to reach at least the semis. And I know, again, we say it every time. I look at our squad and just think, actually, there's a lot of young players in there now that are not just young players with potential, young players doing things. So,
they're maturing big time.
Like you said, Dele Alli, the guy is unbelievable. To go from League One football to then obviously jump up to what he has done and to do what he's doing now, unbelievable. And he's still young. You got Rashford, obviously he's at a top 6 club, but he's, again, exciting to watch. Yeah. Sterling's still young. Obviously, Eric Dyer holding it down with Tottenham with Ali and Michael
scored on the weekend.
Yeah, scored at the weekend. And then we've also got John Stones at the back, who a lot of people obviously don't like, but I still think he's going to...
He's Marmite, but if you watch him on a regular basis, like City, I think he's a top player.
Yeah, I think a lot of people... I think it was Rio Ferdinand actually put it... He got retweeted quite a lot on Twitter the other day about... he put... the top 3 young centre-halves for England. It was like Michael Keane, Stones and Dyer. All 3 of them started in our last game, last Sunday, wasn't it? So I just looked at it and I thought, fair play, Rio. Obviously had some sort of idea. But no, I think all 3 are excellent. And like you said, John Stones is a little bit like Marmite as well, where a lot of people sort of go, oh, but he tries to pass too much. He tries to do this. He tries to do that. And a lot of people expect a certain type of football, I think, with England in terms of the way we play.
I completely agree. Yeah.
But then they'll moan when players like Stones come through who are trying to do it, and it may not work straight away. And he gets scrutinised very quickly for it. And I think for a young guy, he's done very well to obviously go from Barnsley to Everton and now obviously to Man City in England. And I think he's probably one of the only England players, maybe Dele Alli one day, that could probably fit into a Barcelona side, in a typical Barca side.
Who knows?
Hopefully, I think for the English game, that's sort of what we need, more players to go abroad like Joe Hart has done this year, and full credit to him for doing that. And obviously he's
actually done well over there, hasn't he? Yeah.
I think he's had a few mistakes, but then when you're English...
At the start, I remember he had a horrible mistake. I think it was in his first game or something.
But I think it was actually, yeah.
Yeah, he dropped the ball or the ball went over him or something. But
then how many English players go over to a foreign country and do things like that? Not many.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a credit for... I think English people generally are quite stubborn when it comes to other countries, like going to learn a new language or at least giving it an attempt in terms of sport anyway. I don't personally see it.
Can you imagine Sterling playing abroad? Like he'd want to learn a new language.
Yeah, I like you said, I couldn't imagine most English players doing that. So for Hart to go out and do it, I'm quite happy. But with Hart, I mean, the next tournament, is he going to start? I don't know. I think if Butland gets a run of games in between now and obviously next, or when he's back and between the Euros, why not Butland?
I know his surgery went well, so hopefully, with any luck, next season, he's the man. I mean, I'm not too fast, Butland or Hart, but it would be brilliant to see Butland play a run of games, like you say, for England. And if he's number 1 at the World Cup, that'd be amazing for him.
But then we've said Hart and Butland, but then it's got to be a little bit ridiculous to not mention Tom Heaton as well, because he's probably single-handedly going to, obviously not just him, I think they've played really well this year, but Burnley to stay up. Obviously they've got two internationals in England. It's ridiculous. Michael Keane and Tom Heaton. I never thought I'd see 2 Burnley players in an England setup. So,
mad, ain't it?
But that's obviously a credit to them, and I don't think they're going to go down this year. Obviously we'll talk about that a little bit further on, but I think Tom Heaton has to be mentioned to at least contend to Hart, because he's been unbelievable for the past, I'd say, 4 years.
Yeah.
And
Vouch for that.
so them three collectively, and then we're still forgetting Fraser Forster as well, another good goalkeeper. So I think in terms of
Another top keeper.
exactly, so in terms of that side of things, I don't actually see much of a problem. And then going from the back, going forward, as we've mentioned, the three centre halves already. Obviously, Gary Cahill's still there, so you've got Smalling still, Jones. You never know. Collectively, it's a nice bunch to choose from. Fullbacks, I'm not really sure who might be coming through in terms of youngsters, but obviously Walker will still be playing for next year. Klein, Danny Rose will still be there next year. Baines, maybe not. I'm not too sure because of his age. But we've got a lot of at the back. I'm quite content. Whereas before, maybe I was a little bit like, I'm not too sure of centre half options. But now we've got quite a few young players playing regularly in the Prem. And I think, do you know what? We might actually solidly do quite well. And obviously going forward, we've got a lot of creative attacking young players as well. So I'm all for us doing quite well. Maybe not win it, but I think we'll go quite far.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that. The thing is, though, like I'm sort of thinking back to I think it was like 2004, 2006 when we had like brilliant players playing for all top clubs and we're doing well for their clubs. Weren't just getting picked because they play for their club. And we didn't do anything, did we? Like with Beckham and Gerrard and all that, and Coventry. Sorry, I've just got a Weldon.
That's fine.
But yeah, it's 2-0 now. And yeah, we always get our hopes up, don't we? But if you look at the likes of Brazil and France and all that, I mean.
Yeah, I get.
Tough.
To be fair, I get with France because they've got, again, I looked at a picture the other day. It was like, strength of depth for the France squad. In every position, they had at least 4 like good top players that they could choose from. And I went, oh wow. But and I do look at them and I do think that. But then, like you said, we always get our hopes up, and I don't know. I think it's a little bit different this time because we've got a lot more younger players blooding through now. I think that are not just, as I said earlier, just potential players. They are already currently doing things in the Premier League, which is something that I think has been the subjects in general has been quite a big bugbear for me anyway. We talked about it previously just before we started on this, but young players getting a chance in the Prem. So obviously we talked about England now. I'm saying semis next year. Maybe too soon to tell.
Depends who we get, depends what the squad is, but it does sound pretty reasonable, considering like the players that we've mentioned that will probably be there in the next World Cup. Yeah, semis. I'll take that.
Yeah, why not? And then go out to Germany. But in terms of obviously on our way there, obviously you never know. Another young player might come through at the start of next season, end of this season, like Rashford has. You never know.
Yeah.
But young players in the Premier League. So by young players, I mean just English players. Considering we've just come off of talking about England, young English players in the Prem. Do they get enough opportunities throughout the whole spectrum of the Prem? So from Chelsea down to who's bottom? Bottom of the league. Oh, go on, Harry. No, you answer.
Yeah. Not yet. Later.
I mean, on most podcasts, it's generally quite smooth. With this one today, we've had a little interruption, but that's okay. You look buzzing with that. But, so in terms of obviously from top of the league to bottom, do you think English players get enough opportunity?
Depends what club, like Chelsea, they I don't think they give enough opportunities considering how many players they have that are top players as part of the youth. I know West Ham don't give many players a chance. I'm all for giving players a chance on loan at League 1, League 2 clubs. But the amount of times that we've done it and we never ever bring them into the Premier League games, it's not on really. Like we, I think we've mentioned, Everton. They've brought some top players in. Pennington, Holgate,
Davis,
etc. Yeah, all top players that could play for Everton most games, I guess. Like just watching was it yesterday against Liverpool? I mean, Pennington weren't that great. It was his first game of the season. Scored. He can only get better. Holgate. I thought Holgate was one of Everton's best players, if I'm honest. considering he had part of Mane, Coutinho, and Firmino. Who else? Davies, like I say, yeah, Davies has just been unreal this season.
Yeah,
How brilliant he's been.
I think the game that made me go, wow, I need to maybe try and, if there's an Everton game on, I'm actually definitely going to watch it now because of this lad. I think he's younger than me and you, which is, I don't like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nice. But no, I think he's 18. Yeah, I think he's 18 at the moment. And they played against Man City at home. And it was Lookman's first game for Everton as well, the one they bought off Charlton. I think they won, was it 4-1? They beat Man City?
I think it was even 4-0. I don't remember City scoring.
Yeah, I can't remember the game exactly.
He just chopped Yaya Toure. Mad that.
No, I remember him doing it. I just think he has got no respect for Man City whatsoever, or Yaya Toure. And I know it sounds like a silly thing to say, but he just absolutely tore it up. And then Lookman come on, he scored his first goal as well. And as you mentioned yesterday, Holgate, I thought dealt with it quite well. I think when Coutinho come through and he finessed that in the in the top corner, there's not much they was really going to do about it.
Exactly.
Pennington probably got turned maybe a little bit too easy, but then, as we say, when you've got players like Coutinho, Mane, Origi, and Firmino coming at you in the shot.
That was probably Coutinho's best performance of the season, that I've definitely seen. The fact that he sort of goes one way then the other so quick, it makes he makes most right backs look like idiots. So I don't think Pennington will get too down about it.
No. Look, it's his first. I think first Premier League game of the season. Obviously scored, which is always nice, regardless of you're a centre half or not. But no, I think Everton, and especially Koeman, he's been brave this season, blooding through those players, and I think with the squad he's got, bringing those players through to still be 7th, I believe they still are.
They'll definitely finish 7th or higher, but
I think
they won't go below 7th.
I want to go 7-8 points off the top 4. Not saying they're going to get top 4, by the way, but I'm just saying, in perspective, obviously they're blooding through these young players, and then in hindsight, not that far off the Champions League anyway. So with a few additions, and obviously hopefully keeping Lukaku at the club, then that would be, why can't they go push on? And I think it's a credit to Koeman, obviously, to be bringing that through, as he did at Southampton before, which is... It's okay, excuse you. But no, I think it's excellent. And obviously, like you said Chelsea earlier, but I think personally, for where they are and obviously the stature of the club, typically they don't bring anyone through. This season under Conte, I think they're starting to blood through one or two. And do you know what? I get that. If you're top of the league and you're competing with Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United, Arsenal, whoever, you need to play your best players. And when you've got Costa and obviously Costa, Fabregas, John Terry, Courtois, it's hard to bring through, as an example, to bring through players. But Chalobah's come through this season. He's played quite a few games, played really well. Obviously, Victor Moses had a chance. Not that he's young, but that shocks me already. And Loftus-Cheek, obviously, being the other one that's sort of come through quite a lot and now playing, not all the time, but I think he's getting enough game time in a top side for him, obviously, to develop. And obviously, hopefully, next season, Tammy Abraham gets some sort of...
Yeah, mad that.
Because obviously he's at Bristol City and I don't know how many goals he's got this season, but he must be near 20. He's got to be around the 20 mark. He is unbelievable this season. And again, hopefully Conte looks at that and go, well, let's just give him a go. Or at least...
Imagine with better service than obviously Bristol City, he can score even more.
You'd hope so. But I think Chelsea, I don't really mind too much at the moment. Man United, I think even Jose's bringing... Maybe not as much, but obviously Rashford's starting quite a lot of the time now.
And I can't remember the bloke's name, but I read earlier on today a youth player was on the bench for Manchester United on the game against West Brom.
Yeah, I think... Sorry, the other one has played Fosu Mensah, Timothy Fosu Mensah. I want to say fullback.
Right back, I think
Yeah, I think so. He's come through quite a bit. I'm not sure how good he is, but again, it's the whole point of just giving them a chance. Because I look at other countries and... I'm not saying I don't think Spain did as much, but there's a lot of young players that come through. I think Germany are probably maybe the best example to use, and probably France. They blood through a lot of their young players. And obviously it's a risk because you might lose a game down to it, or on the flip side, you might win a game due to it. But I love the fact that they try and blood through their youngsters, and I think it's a very typical English thing to say. But even if they're trying to blood through one or two a season, look, I can't. I'd like to see something like that, and I think it's beneficial to everyone because you bring someone through your academy and they start playing for you. Obviously, they've already got that connection with the fans. The fans love it a lot more. And it's just good. I don't know. It's just good for the country. If they're playing regularly in the Premier League, like Dele Alli's done, Eric Dyer, John Stones, they're all playing regularly. Now they're playing for England. So hopefully it just builds a future for our country and hopefully have a bit more hope every tournament. So you agree, sort of, or what's your sort of thoughts then?
Sorry,
you look like you're thinking quite a lot. So.
Well, like I say, if each team, or near enough each team, brings through one or two players a season, or 20 to 40 players, that as long as a few come through to the actual national team, I mean, that could maybe improve England's national team. But like I say, if you're down in the bottom, depends how far you are from the bottom, but bottom 10, sorry, you probably can't afford to bring through as many youth players. If you're in that sort of mid-table, you can. But if you're in the bottom three, you just can't afford to bring through young youth just to try them out. It's just too late for some teams.
So, because we spoke about this before, you was like, it's just too late for West Ham to blood through any players at all, and it's done. But my personal point of it is, if your team isn't doing that well anyway, if I'm 18, 17, 19, well, obviously I'm 19 now, 19 or 20 years old, and I'm playing for a club like West Ham or, I don't know, Swansea or Hull or whoever's sort of Palace, whoever's sort of around that bottom 6, 7, I'm going, well, if we're not playing that well, give me a chance. I want to get on and try and make a difference. Like, surely that makes younger players a little bit more hungry than, because I can understand a striker at Man City going, well, I'm not going to play over Aguero. Like, I sort of get that. But if I'm at West Ham, I'm thinking, why can't I get on? We're not doing that well at the moment. Give me a chance, like we mentioned earlier, Fernandes, winger, I think he is. Whenever I've watched that guy play.
If I'm honest, he sort of played everywhere. He's played right mid, right back, centre mid. He's played everywhere, really.
Well, there you go. He's obviously
just quick.
Yeah, he's obviously quite a hungry player. Whenever I've watched him play for West Ham, I think I've not watched loads of West Ham, as you might imagine, but I watched the Boxing Day game against Swansea. I think he played on Boxing Day.
Yeah. I think he scored. Got an assist.
He got an assist for Carroll, I think it was. He come on, but he was electric when he come on. I just thought, why wouldn't you start him if he comes on and makes quite a good difference? Obviously, when you've got, say, I don't know, Faguli as an example, who may not be playing as well, or maybe Snodgrass now he's fitting. If he's not playing that well, what is the risk? If those wingers aren't playing that well, what's the big risk of playing a young player who's actually quite hungry and quick, like you said?
I'm all for that. I mean, the players that are in central midfield at the moment, or wherever Fernandes wants to play, they're not doing a great job. So I don't see why Slaven Bilic and other clubs don't start playing players that are just willing to sort of get the ball, drive forward, or willing to play football, rather than just Snodgrass, Faguli. I mean, at most they're 6 out of 10 every week. Like, it's just not good enough, especially when you're spending good money on them. Another one, just sort of going back to like youth and whatever. Just watching the Oxford game at the moment, they've got one of our strikers on loan who scored about 20 goals in I think it's the Premier League 2 division or something like that. He's got about 20 goals there. We loaned him out to Oxford. He scored 2 goals. One of them was against Middlesbrough away in the cup. Tidy little finish. And now he's not playing anymore. Same with Reece Oxford. Yapstam brought him on yesterday against Leeds, but he doesn't ever start a game, and he never can. Obviously, don't ever complete 90 minutes. How on earth is this going to help our youth players? It's like that for most clubs. It's not just West Ham. I'm just saying it because I just know. But there's so many clubs who put players out on loan and they don't get played. It's not helping their future, and it's not helping their parent club whatsoever.
No, I get what you mean. And obviously, there's a point. I do get your point earlier when you're like, well, clubs can't afford to do it. But then I think, well, if you're in the top 4, can you afford to do it? And then it just becomes a question of what's the point? Like, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to do that, because we're in this position. With that sort of attitude, I guess, from clubs, young players, wouldn't get their chance. And I just think, like I said, if you're down the bottom, why wouldn't you? And why wouldn't you just risk it? Like you just said, now you've loaned 2 players. Well, definitely loaned more than 2 players out, but the 2 you mentioned, Oxford.
Yeah, just off the top of your head.
The guy at Oxford, I saw his goal against Middlesbrough. I don't know his name, to be honest with you. I don't know who.
Tony Martinez.
Tony Martinez. Okay, well, you've loaned them out, and obviously not playing as much.
Well, he's not even come on in this game, and they're 2-0 down, for God's sake. It's like, just bring him on. Do you know what I mean? Just go, Gummo. Go for an attack. Get a goal now. But no, they ain't brought him on. But Reece Oxford, obviously, we all remember, well, majority of us, remember when he played first game of the season, Arsenal away, we won 2-0. He pocketed Coquelin and Mesut Ozil. He played the week after, and I'll be honest, he was absolutely dreadful. But against Bournemouth, he was. But if he's got that in him to do that against top players for Arsenal, I don't see why he can't do that. I don't know, against your, I hate to say it, like the Swanseas and all that. Play him, sod it. I can't believe Gapstam's not played him.
Okay, that's fair. So I think on that sort of note, then, obviously with you saying against your Swanseas and everything like that, this season in the Premier League, so obviously we're now a month, maybe a couple of games away now from the end of the season. I'm not sure how many exactly in the Prem. I don't know how many we've got either.
8 or 9.
Okay, so we're coming to our final little close of the Prem. Top 4, who's getting it?
I wrote it down. I think I predicted it. Obviously, well, it's not obvious because they lost yesterday, didn't they? But Chelsea to win the title.
Yeah, agreed.
They have got hard fixtures, but they've got it in them. Obviously, I'm going to go for Manchester City to come second because they've got reasonably easy home games, which should get them over the line to second. Tottenham are going to finish 4th. I'm pretty sure I put Liverpool 3rd. But that may change due to the fact that Mane looked fairly badly injured, shall I say?
Yeah, his ankle went backwards. Someone stamped on it. Yeah, didn't look nice.
I thought at first it did look bad. And I thought, hang on a minute, he looked alright here, and then obviously he went down again. But I think I put Arsenal to come 5th and Manchester United come 6th. I mean, I think apart from Chelsea, it's a little bit of a lottery at the moment. It's so tight.
No, it is. I think. Do you know what? I agree. I think everyone's sort of agreeing now. Chelsea will more than likely win the league. They had a blip yesterday, but
they have got a hard game against Man City midweek. It might spice things up.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I just think they're almost a little bit too good for this season. I think they'll go over the line fine. I still think Tottenham will finish second. I just think they're an incredibly difficult side to beat. Not many teams, obviously like Chelsea as well, but not many teams can go to White Hart Lane or even welcome Tottenham and win. Like, if they don't win, they usually draw, which I know...
I might be wrong. I don't think they've lost at home all season.
I've not looked at it. I mean, they beat us 6-0, so...
I mean, we should have beaten them. Obviously, we conceded in 89th and 91st or something.
Yeah.
But we messed it up, but... I think the only hard team, are they hard? Manchester United at home, at White Lane. That is probably the hardest fixture they've got at home left. So that would probably mean they've gone their last season at White Lane unbeaten. I mean, that is some.
No, it'd be good. I think, as I said, Pochettino, like we've mentioned before, he's blooding for a few youngsters as well, and I can't see them losing many games. And as I said, if they don't lose, they generally just draw, and obviously you'd rather win, but I'd rather take a point than nothing. And they're really good at grinding out games, regardless whether they're winning.
If they draw one game, they'll more than likely win the next one. You don't ever really see Tottenham have a blip, even with Kane out. Like when he got injured against Millwall, I thought, Spurs are gonna go downhill now. But I think it's Son, whatever.
Yeah.
He's been playing brilliant, and
he's been excellent.
I only see match of the day because obviously Spurs won on TV, but that Janssen can hold the ball up, and we got his first goal against Millwall. might
Yeah,
help
yeah,
him in good
relax.
stead.
we'll
Might help
forget
him in
that.
good stead.
We'll forget the Mill Tottenham game. That was don't talk about that. But yeah, no, I think even when he holds it up, and obviously you've got players around you like Ali, Ericsson, as you said, Heung-min Son. Look, sometimes a player like that doesn't even need to score as many goals as long as he's providing for other players as well. I'd generally be quite happy. So, but no, they're doing really well, and I think Man City will more than likely come third. I think Liverpool are too inconsistent, but I still think they'll get fourth, and I hope they get Champions League. Now, ideally, Man United get fifth and Arsenal sixth because I'd love to see Arsenal come sixth. But I still think Arsenal probably get fifth and Man United probably end up being sixth. I think for the squad that they've got, and obviously with Ibra out at the moment, I still think Jose's done a great job. I think I see some people slating him on Twitter yesterday because of the 0-0 draw to West Brom, and I just thought, I cut him some slack because I actually think they've done quite well this season, and yeah, I think that'd be fine. But I reckon
I think what the problem is, with Manchester United. I think what the problem is with Manchester United at the moment, I see they've got a lot of home draws, and I was there when we got the 1-1 draw. They, apart from the early goal from us, they battered us after. They absolutely battered us. Randolph kept us in it. And just like the Burnley, I think they drew 0-0, didn't they? Heaton, I think, made something like 18 saves or something. Oh, I think Arsenal just went, well, no, sorry.
Go on.
Nearly winning. And all top keepers go to Old Trafford and want to make a name for themselves. And then United end up not putting the ball in the back of the net. And they've done it for the whole season. It's not a short blip. It's been like it for the whole season. And that has cost Manchester United so many points.
But I think it's like yesterday, Jose was like, well, we was in their half for pretty much 90 minutes. So I think they're playing fine.
Man City just went 1-0 up. Wow.
Lovely. That's all right. But I think going forward, they're obviously they're a very good side. Obviously, Mkhitaryan, big fan of him. Rashford, Ibra, Martial. But Jose's going to get whoever he wants in the summer. Let's be honest. And I just think they're going to probably get back to how they used to be. Liverpool. Will they get top four next year? I don't know. I think with Man United probably getting a lot stronger, maybe not. But who knows? And Tottenham getting bigger every year. So the Premier League's just getting, for that top four, it's so hard to get into it. Now, you could be a great side, but you might not even get into the top four. I think Everton, if they had this squad or had a similar squad like this 10 years ago, they'd be easily in the top four. But now the Premier League's just getting that good that it's so competitive and it's so hard to get into there. But, it's not just competitive up there. You've got the bottom three as well. And you said it before we got on here, and which kind of made me laugh. But who do you think is going to go down?
Watching Middlesbrough today, I'll go for Middlesbrough. I've seen them for most of the season, and they've not been great or whatsoever. The problem is they're absolutely solid in defence, but they can't score for love nor money. So just on the goal scorer alone, they'll go down. Sunderland, everyone sort of has already put them down, but they've still got to play West Ham. And I'm not being funny. That'll be the game where I'm not just saying it. They'll win that, and obviously it depends how they do before that. They might be in with a shout. They've got Defoe. He don't score every game, but when he does, it's usually a winner or it's a good point for him. And Pickford in goal, he saves them a lot of points.
Yeah, he's been doing
believe it or not, considering they don't get many. But when they do, it's either Defoe or it's Pickford that gets them those points. I'll just put Sunderland down for now because looking at the table, they do look like they're quite a few points off. Too many at this stage. But like I say, if they beat West Ham, different ballgame. I watched Hull yesterday. Obviously, they beat us. They look absolutely dreadful. We sort of gave them the win.
Because you said before this, you was like, West Ham are going to go down. That's it. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, I'm not done yet. No. I do fancy West Ham to go down. Yeah. I do. Like the thing is, we're 6 points off. Hull have Middlesbrough on Wednesday. We've got Arsenal away. If Arsenal play like this, like they are right now, I reckon West Ham might get something because they're playing dreadful. But we'll probably lose against Arsenal, like being on a not a deluded and biased side. West Ham, Hull, Swansea will have enough. They'll stay up, Swansea. Who else is there? Blimey. Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will probably have enough because they just score so many goals at home, don't they?
So,
And Jack Wilshere.
So you're going
Jack
Sunderland, Middlesbrough, West Ham. Is that your sort of?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, I'm not going to.
Us or Hull, definitely.
Okay. I mean, I don't think you'll go down. I don't know. I think you'll be fine, to be honest with you. But
We've got Everton, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I mean, 4 out of 8 games. I mean, it don't sound good. Sunderland away, they'll beat us. Swansea at home next week. Maybe we might get something. Stoke away, they will beat us 100%. And Burnley away, I mean, last game of the season, they'll send us down.
I mean, you sound hopeful for the rest of the year. I mean, I agree with the Middlesbrough thing. I don't think they're a bad side at all. I watched them against Man United and I thought they actually kicked the ball quite well and they was proper giving it to United. And as soon as they had Traore out wide and Negredo and Guested up front, I thought these actually look like they might score. But as you said, they don't score enough goals. So on that, they'll probably go down. I don't think, but it's annoying because I don't think they're a bad side. But as you said, based on the fact they don't score enough, they probably will. I think
they create a few today. But if you're not putting it back in there, it don't mean anything, does it?
Well, there you go. And I think Sunderland, it's just their time. They need to go down. It'll frustrate me if they stay up again. They just need to go down.
If they start this year, I mean, they're never ever going down.
No, they don't go down this year. That's it. I mean, obviously I'll mention him, for young Bradley Lowry's sake, it'd be nice to see him stay up. But I just don't think they're good enough to. I think, unluckily for Moisey, they'll probably go down. And then the last one, I don't think Hull have been terrible since Marco Silva's come in, but I think their season was pretty much over before it started. I think the whole transfer situation at the start of the year, where there's they had 14 fit players, and then I don't know. I just don't think their squad's strong enough. Then they sold Snodgrass, who was their best player at the time, and I just thought,
and these be dreadful for us.
Yeah, well, there you go. But so I think that'll probably be it. I think Swansea will be fine. I think you'll be fine. Palace, obviously, picking up that win yesterday at Chelsea, I think they made a big statement there. And I think with the forms Zaha and Benteke on, and even how Punchin's playing, that'd be fine. And obviously Sacco. But obviously, it's an interesting.
What about Burnley and Bournemouth?
Bournemouth, as you said, score a lot of goals. Burnley, very strong home record. I think they're in top 3, top 4 best home record in the league. I think they'd be fine. And if a club like that can secure most of their points at home, I think you'd probably stay up. So that's good. But all right, well, look, Harry, we're going to jump off this now. But thank you for coming on. That's all right. But thank you for listening if you have this far. Now, ideally, these will get a lot better. I don't know how this is going to be on, whether you're going to see our faces or whether I'm going to edit something into it. I don't know. But they will improve. I'm going to upload a lot more, probably, hopefully 2 or 3 times a week. But it's just finding the times to upload. So over the next week or so, or 2 weeks, there might not be loads up. There'll at least be 1 a week. But ideally, I'll be doing 2, 3 a week and getting people like Harry come on, and just other people that I know that will hopefully come on and give their opinion like you have today. And that's sort of the idea going forward. But if you have listened this far, thank you. If you can, I'm going to put this on YouTube, so if you can give some sort of like or a comment or any sort of feedback through Facebook or Twitter, if that's how you found this video, then that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be brilliant, yeah.
My Twitter is @DanElliottCoach. I'll put it in the description. Harry, what's your Twitter?
Yeah, @19H1997.
Lovely. So I'll put that in the description as well. So if you've got any sort of feedback for us, that'd be fantastic. Ideally, I've not done this in over a year, so I might stutter, I might but look, they will get better. Hopefully, we've got some good ideas going forward. So as I said, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. And we shall speak to you soon. Thank you.
Yeah, see you later.